put on a show. It's the next production at Purple Rose Theater. We welcome actor in Human Error, Kristin Shields, and the director, Lynch Travis. Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah.
Thanks for having us on board.
Yeah, great to have you. And it's Human Error, it's comedy, and it opens this week.
Yes, on Friday, opening night.
Is it all ready? Are you ready?
We're ready. We're so ready. I mean, there are changes being made. We still have a couple of previews, so audiences get to do a talk back afterward and give the director here their feedback, but we're excited. We're excited to open.
So production, like so many of Purple Rose, made in Michigan actors. You guys are both veterans of stage, and also you've been in Purple Rose productions before too. What else have you been in, Kristin?
I did Road Signs, which was going until March of 2020. So I was in that production as everything shut down, and Diva Royale, as well as being an understudy for a couple productions too.
So your show closed the theater.
Yeah,
all at the same
that
time.
was a really surreal experience.
And Lynch, you've directed quite a few shows. You've got.
Yeah, I've directed all over southeastern Michigan. This is the second time directing at the Purple Rose. I've been part of the Purple Rose family since for over 20 years. I've been in a number of productions there. Most recently, Pickleball. Yeah, it's home.
Yeah, and now we're at the second production of the season, Human Error, and a comedy, which I was reading the premise, and it sounds like a great recipe for lots of laughs.
Yes.
So what's the show about?
So you've got two polar opposite couples coming into a situation where they're having IVF, in vitro fertilization, trying to have a baby, and there is a human error. There's a mix-up with the embryo. So then what? So what do you do when you have these two opposite people who would never meet, usually in their real lives, have to come together and solve a problem? And so kind of hijinks happens. You know, what happens when you're getting to know someone totally different? Are you willing? Are you not willing? Are you judgmental? Are you open? And anything can happen.
And it's not just you've got two different couples. There's some very distinct differences.
Yes.
What are those, Lynch?
Well, one couple happens to be in Michigan, Ann Arbor based, kinda, and the other couple was in Ohio. So we got the Buckeyes, Wolverine thing going. One couple is pretty liberal in terms of their political and social outlook, and the other couple is very conservative. So those things are in opposition. And the conservative couple is the one where the embryo was implanted. So they're trying to figure out what they're going to do. And obviously, this is not something that happens a lot in our society. It has happened. This is based on a true story that our writer saw in the Toledo Blade. But they're trying to figure it out and how to get along, and they're looking at the immediate things. They're looking at some of the medium things. They're looking at the long range stuff. So it's just a fun type of show to do. It covers some serious stuff, but in a way, the writer's just brilliant in terms of his humor, his cleverness, the nuance, and for me, it made me like listen, to things that I might normally go, they're wrong. And I think that's really what our audiences are saying in the previews, and I think what a lot of the artists that are on the project feel as well.
So the liberal couple is carrying the baby of the conservatives, or the other way around?
Yeah, other way around.
Yeah.
All right, so now you've got, which can be a polarizing subject with the audience. So do you worry at all that you're going to have people that are reacting to the show based on their personal political preferences?
I think everybody walks into a theater with their own understanding of the world, and our job is to really represent these characters as humanly as possible without caricaturing them. And I think you'll see a little bit of yourself in someone on stage. It may not, yes, I think we're trying to portray all the sides if we can, and see the humanity in maybe somebody wouldn't have agreed with otherwise.
And that's the strength of this work. The playwright he's done a great job of presenting both sides with equal force and clarity. It's obviously the type of situation where people can come in and say, well, this is how it should go. In every one of our preview audiences so far, the audience has pretty much come to a consensus that they had to think about how they approach these topics in their own lives, just because of some of the things that we were able to put out there in this show.
We've got some shots from rehearsals. It opens for previews Wednesday and Thursday afternoon, right?
We have previews, yes, tomorrow and Thursday, our final two. We're fortunate to do 6, so we're in the last 2, and then opening night is Friday.
Yeah.
Da 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 da. So.
Now the set, is this the set?
Yes, it is.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it takes place in a lot of different locations and over the period of the pregnancy, over 9 months. So our set is very minimal, and we try to do some magic with it, with lighting and sound, and our actors,
Yes.
who are by default our stagehands.
So there's 9 months of things happening on
Right.
stage, all condensed down.
From the inception to the birth.
To the birth.
And then
Oh, there's a birth.
to the birth.
And you can act like you've been there because you have.
I have. I've got 3 kids.
Yeah.
And so does my character, has 3 children, yes.
Nice. This being a comedy, so you're looking for laughs.
Yes.
That's the goal, right?
And
As a
we're
director?
getting them. I'm telling
Yeah.
you, it is fun. There are serious notes to it, but it's still lighthearted and ridiculous and sweet. There's a lot of dimension to it.
Yeah, there's entertainment, and my job was easy. The script, the laughs are there, and we have the actors that know what to do.
It's a fantastic
Yeah,
cast.
it's
We've
a
got-
fantastic. Yeah, these folks. We got a lot of some first timers. We got a veteran in Kristin and Alex Layden-Frost, and we have our doctor is a guy from Chicago. His first time at the Rose.
Kevin Tice.
Kevin Tice. Andre Franklin is from Detroit. His first time at the Rose. And we have one our own Megan Van Arsdalen.
And she's from Jackson.
From
I know
Jackson.
her.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you've got 4, 6 people.
Five.
Five
There's
in the
5, so
cast.
it's the 2 couples and the doctor.
Okay. All right. And I believe this is the Michigan premiere.
Yes.
It is.
Awesome.
Yes.
Now the writer, is he around?
Eric Pfeffinger, he's in Toledo. He was here Friday. He'll be back, I think, opening night. I think that's when he said he'd be back. So we got the script a few years ago. We actually were doing the library reading series that we do with the Chelsea Public Library. And during the pandemic, of course, it was Zoomed, kind of thing. And Eric's play was one that we read.
Yeah.
You read in that, right?
I did, and I was
Yeah.
actually pregnant at the time.
She was, yeah.
During that.
So there was a little typecasting, I guess. I suppose. So we read that play. It was one that we like. Hey, and yeah, we liked it. It took a while, obviously, with the world changing in front of our eyes, day by day during those years. So we were very pleased to be able to get this up on our stage. It has been produced professionally in other places. And we're happy to be able to premiere it here in Michigan.
It's a Michigan play. It's a Midwest play.
It
Like
is.
the jokes, there are experiences. Like you're not going to go to Denver and really understand the rivalry between Michigan and Ohio State, or going to a place like Cabela's. Like it's a Michigan play. It's
Yeah.
really audiences can relate on
but
many levels.
But he did say that the thing that surprised him was how national you Buckeyes and Wolverines
Okay,
are. He said
okay.
they were all over it in Denver.
Okay, fair
Yeah.
enough. I'm a
Well-
lifelong Michigan.
Yeah.
I went to U of M. My husband and I went to U of M. Like, I play a Buckeye, which is
Well, that's going to be
really
painful.
hard, but yeah,
I keep
it's
waiting
real.
for her and Alex to break out in the eyes.
We try to just like, this is the character. This is the
Yeah,
character.
our Buckeye husband teaches at Pioneer, so
Now, having the playwright actually come up and check things out, does he give you notes?
what we did is we had discussions afterwards. We talked about some things just in terms of what we were trying to check in with him to see if we were. It's hard to, what would I want to say? honoring his intentions. And he was very effusive in terms of where the work was, and which is our hope. You know, it's a playwrights theater. You know, we want to honor the Midwestern playwright, the local, you know, new works. We do a lot. So that was our intention. I think that we offer something that some other theaters probably can't. You know, we do things a certain way at the Rose. We try to hire high caliber artists, and that's design the whole 9 yards. So I think I know he was rather pleased with what he saw. He laughed through the whole thing, and it was our first preview.
Yeah.
So you know, we still had some lights coming up and down when they didn't need to.
He'll be back.
Yeah.
And it's typical that the author or playwright participates, like pickleball, the last one.
Right.
Jeff
Right.
Daniels.
Get to work with
Yeah,
Jeff.
where Jeff was there. So it was a situation where we offer, you know, we do that's part of our process. That Eric could be there as much as or little as he's like. As a director, I'm totally comfortable with anybody that has a stake in it being in the room, because I'm tough enough to
Now,
to deal with it.
Are there any audience? Is it general audience? Would your kids and grandkids come?
No kids
No.
for this.
Yeah, well, that depends on who you are.
That depends
We
on who
always
you are, that's true.
We always debate that, but no.
Not my
It's-
kids.
it's
My kids will not come.
It's not a children's play. It has adult themes, you know, in terms of, we talk about a lot of different things. We talk about abortion. You know, there's a little salty language, not much, but it wasn't written for you know, kids to, and I don't know if they would really, you know, lock in.
Appreciate it,
Yeah,
yeah.
they wouldn't, like I said, they wouldn't understand. She has one of those lines
That's right.
about kids.
Yes.
I'm not gonna say it, but yeah, it's for adults. I think that, you know, certainly in my mind, that sophisticated, you know, older, you know, high school seniors and
Totally.
like that, yeah, they could totally get into it. Any excuse me, any person that has an interest in the great debates in our society, and that's old enough to, you know, to appreciate that can get
Sounds like
into
a
it.
great show. Are you going to have the Michigan people on one side of the theater?
Do we let Ohio State people in? No, anyone and everyone. You can wear your collars though.
We're not in marketing, so you know we're gonna let Katie. She should have a thing, you know. That would be
Choose your
great.
side.
Yeah.
Well, it sounds like a great show. I can't wait to see it. And it opens, well, actually, you started your previews last week. The official opening is this Friday
Yes.
and runs through March 18th. And you can get tickets at purplerosetheater.org or call 734-433-7673. Well, great to have you here. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks
Well,
for
thanks
having
for
us.
Yeah, I look forward to seeing you on stage. And now, where does the director sit during the show?
Opening night, I'll be in DD4. That'll be the top row, somewhere in there. Those.
Okay.
Then I'm done. You know, I'm actually going on to another show
Oh, wow.
as an actor. So yeah, it's kind of crazy how that works out. I had no intentions.
Well, I hope you have a
Can
big
happen.
house every night and it's a successful run.
Thank you.
Great
I
to
do
see you.
too.
Thank
Well,
you.
Thanks for having us.
You
Yeah.
bet. The director of Human Error, Lynch Travis, and actor Kristin Shields at the Purple Rose Theater. Well, next on the show, we've got some things